the St. Gerard's Hall. 10 semi-simid ang 10-time case of Monarch of Dominica King Dice. The sensational chalet of single band, award-winning Mr. Ridge across the bridge, King Daddy Chess, multi-talented King Bob, Gadal Slips so I could live for that crop, John of Philomen Fam, Shadow Flow, Corner Fingers Philip, County of Serenade, Tehila, Alex and Laron, Kelly the Ghost Williams, Peter Leta, Calvin, Senator S. Bradmore. A night of queso, Gadal Slips, reggae, booyafo, and world music. Tickets in advance, $50. Special students price, $25 only at SMA. Partners include Navigator, Britain and Company, TVS Radio, Kyrie FM, Q95 FM, Dominica News Online, Push Past 10, the TDN Radio, St. Mary's Academy, UWY Campus Dominica, Dominica Public Service Union, Damian Mellot and other SMA alumni, Milo Services, Deepex, Moonzai, Dominica Lotteries Commission, Central Cooperative Credit Union, and more. This landmark concert celebrates the extraordinary contributions of SMA alumni who have become icons to Dominica's rich cultural heritage and the regional and international stage. Friday, October 17th, 6 p.m. St. Gerard's Hall. St. Mary's Academy past and present students. Support your alma mater. The St. Mary's Academy class of 74-75 Alumni Reunion Committee presents one of the most highly anticipated cultural events of the year, the SMA All Boys Concert, a star-studded night of music, culture, and brotherhood on Friday, October 17th, 6 p.m. at the St. Gerard's Hall. 10 semi-simid ang 10-time case of Monarch of Dominica King Dice. The sensational chalet of single band, award-winning Mr. Ridge across the bridge, King Daddy Chess, multi-talented King Bob, Gadal Slips so I could live for that crop, John of Philomen Fam, Shadow Flow, Corner Fingers Philip, County of Serenade, Tehila, Alex and Laron, Kelly the Ghost Williams, Peter Leta, Calvin, Senator S. Bradmore. A night of queso, Gadal Slips, reggae, booyafo, and world music. Tickets in advance, $50. Special students price, $25 only at SMA. Partners include Navigator, Britain and Company, TVS Radio, Kyrie FM, Q95 FM, Dominica News Online, Push Past 10, the TDN Radio, St. Mary's Academy, UWY Campus Dominica, Dominica Public Service Union, Damian Mellot and other SMA alumni, Milo Services, Deepex, Moonzai, Dominica Lotteries Commission, Central Cooperative Credit Union, and more. This landmark concert celebrates the extraordinary contributions of SMA alumni who have become icons to Dominica's rich cultural heritage and the regional and international stage. Friday, October 17th, 6 p.m. St. Gerard's Hall. St. Mary's Academy past and present students. Support your alma mater.
Gather one, gather all. We are calling all of the alumni boys, or I should say men, from the St. Mary's Academy, SMA. This is smartest men alive, SMA. If you're from Dominica, you know what we're talking about. And folks, welcome to this episode of This Week in Interview. A special welcome to all of the SMA past graduates and present students, past staff, current staff. Special welcome to you. This Week in Interview is focused on the St. Mary's Academy. So those of you who listen every week, welcome back. And if tonight is the first time that you're listening, welcome as well. I hope you like This Week in Interview enough to become a regular listener to This Week in Interview, because here we highlight people, we highlight their accomplishments, their passions, their expertise, everything of interest, the society that they live in, economic health, and of course, our history and our culture. And as I said, tonight's program, we're focused on the St. Mary's Academy, specifically the past students or the alumni of the St. Mary's Academy, because they are gathering together in one big week of events from the 11th of October to the 17th of October. If you remember, we had them on earlier in the year when they were right in the beginning throes of planning. Well, time has gone by, and it turns out that this wonderful and magnificently planned event is around the corner. It's what, 3 weeks away? Uh, just about 3 weeks away. It starts on the 11th and it goes to the 17th. So if you haven't bought your tickets to go to Dominica, this is where we encourage you to do so. If you're listening to us in Dominica, RVR Jams carries This Week in Interview live on DigiPlay Channel 59 and in the Toronto market online radio SBE uh, carries This Week in Interview live as well. And also we have some other collaborating stations that rebroadcast This Week in Interview. So tonight I have two of the organizers. They're part of the committee that's organizing the reunion. Mr. In the persons of Mr. Sobers Esprit and Joseph Geese Tutti. Those of you who were past students of St. Mary's Academy would know him by that name. And of course, when they initially planned it as the class of 74, 75. But I think that the concept of the reunion has snowballed so much that I think it's encompassed and includes all of the alumni of St. Mary's Academy. So they're here to tell you how excited they are and exactly what's in store for you, because at this stage in the game, it's all planned out. Table is set, and you are being invited to experience it. Let me say right from the start that you don't have to be an SMA alumni to participate, and then they're going to tell us more about that. But of course, if you are if St. Mary's Academy is your alma mater, there's that pride that rises in your chest when you hear your school song and when you hear folks talk about the accomplishments of the St. Mary's Academy. So we have two young gentlemen on here, and when we toss the coin, you know, Mr. Sobers Esprit won the toss.
Right.
No, he's a cricketer, Mr. Sobers Esprit. So we'll go to him first, and then to introduce himself, and then we'll go to Joseph Gibbs. So Sobers, welcome. It's a real
Good night.
pleasure to have you back on
Yes,
this weekend
yes,
interview.
it's really nice to be back on TDN, and thanks for this warm welcome to us and to the reunion committee. We are indeed happy to be able to share with you and your listeners the wonderful news that we about to bring to you about how we can connect more and more with our community in brotherhood, in unison, in collaboration, in partnership to celebrate the achievement of a great institution in Dominica and to bring the men and the women who in one way or the other, help in shaping our lives over the past several decades.
Sobers, what is your role in the organizing committee?
Oh boy. Tutti. Um,
To
uh,
give me help.
I was all wrong there. Thomas has always been all wrong there.
Just
The
like for
great,
your cricket match,
the
right?
great in the cricket parlance, the great Gary Summers wasn't all wrong there. He could bowl, he could bat, he could field, and other things. So, yeah, my role was multifaceted. I helped in shaping the program, did some PR stuff, write. I did a lot of writing because that's my strength. But I'm going to be coordinating a couple of the activities. One is an educational forum in collaboration with University of the West Indies Global Campus, Dominica. Also, I am part of the team doing the All Boys concert on the 17th, which is going to be probably the biggest highlight of the celebrations because it is a major fundraiser for us as an institution and as a community. So, yes, so I am involved in various things.
Awesome, awesome. And of course, accompanying Sobers is Joe. Uh, Welcome back to this week in interview,
Thank
Joe.
you, thank you,
It's great to have you again.
thank you, thank you.
So tell us, you look excited.
I'm very excited about the event. Very, very excited about the event. I mean, it's just this had to happen. You know what I mean? I can't even believe this hasn't happened before. But hey, it's happening now. That's what matters. Yeah. So I'm involved in it from the inception. I'm involved with promoting the various events. That's what I've been doing. I've been spending a lot of time with this, working at the media houses, like TDN, for instance. And thanks for being gracious in giving us the opportunity to share the information with everyone. I think this is an important milestone for us. And one of the things that we're hoping that we can get out of it is we can keep the focus on helping our high school and helping the students from the high school in some way or some form or the other, whether it be mentoring or any other form. I mean, I think that's what will evolve from this experience. We will find normally, I mean, we do have to, maybe get close to the students, talk to them, or what's the best, and the administration too. Madam Principal, what's the name again? Sylvia is the name.
Sylvia Baptist.
She's just so gracious, you know what I mean? And she's just so real too, you know what I mean? She don't play. But talking to them and figuring out what is the best help we can give to make sure that the students get the best experience out of their education. I mean, it's one thing for us on our end to say, well, let's do this and let's do that. But again, as I always say, marketing is not inside out; it's outside in. So let's see. We'll find ways that we can help. I think just building a cadre of people who can help. I think that will be great for high school.
Yeah, and this is perfect. I have Sobas, who is primarily based in Dominica, and I have Joe, who is based
Mm.
it's the diaspora, but your primary residence is outside of Dominica,
Mhm.
which is exactly what the reunion is about. It's about gathering all of this scattered, you say sheep,
Alumni. Yeah.
or all of this scattered flock that came from that one spot, the
Mhm.
St. Mary's Academy. It's like you have that one node, and then the guys came out of there almost like when they come out of school at 1 p.m. and they go in all the different directions, right? And so the reunion is sort of that kind of a symbolic type of event. So Sobers, you guys, uh let's put it in that scenario. You guys are hosting because you reside in Dominica. So I'm going to give you the opportunity. Well, and Joe, you can jump in as well. But I'm going to give Sobers the ball to say, just try to lay out, because the reunion is from the 11th to the 17th.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
right off the bat, let's lay out the
Yeah.
what activity you guys have planned for each of those days of the reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think one other thing that we need to highlight too is that whilst the union is the focus is on St. Mary's Academy, but let us never underestimate the connection that has with the wider Dominican society and even the region, because in fact, we were educated, we were brought up. Our formation was about nation building, building a region that was more prosperous, more just, more with greater equity. So for us, this is an important stage as well for us to help in the defining of Dominica at this critical juncture in our country's development. So let us highlight that as well as a key
Hmm.
point in this whole endeavor. Okay, so we have a full week of activities. We start on the Saturday, the 11th. We're hoping that the guys who are coming from the diaspora, you use the term diaspora, will arrive during that week, and we will meet at the SMA at some point Saturday morning. We're hoping it's about 10 a.m., where we will just gather and chat and exchange pleasantries, and if we have things to share, like memorabilia for guys to collect, programs and tickets and things like that, we can do that. We are hoping, I know there is a suggestion of Mr. Gis that um, Saturday night, that same Saturday night, we could go to Lime somewhere and
Fort
meet
Young.
you guys. Fort Young or someplace, and
Yes.
just go and just have a good time, in socializing. Then Sunday morning we start serious business. We have a church service on at the Catholic Cathedral in Roseau from 9 a.m. The special mass, and we're going to be celebrating this unique opportunity in church and in spirit. It's a really a spiritual connection, spiritual engagement by the alumni, by friends of SMA, and by people that we'll be inviting to attend. Following the mass, we'll be having a brunch in the SMA yard to help raise funds. So you're going to hear that question with fundraising throughout in the next couple of minutes. So the brunch will happen right after the mass, and we're urging people to buy tickets from the St. Mary's Academy and to support that cause. Then on Monday is the day we hit the road now in terms of really getting more engaged in social and cultural activities. So on Monday morning, we are hoping that we will be able to again engage in just some brotherly way. But Monday evening we have of our first big event. It's a night of reflection and a cocktail reception, and that will be held at the Public Service Union building on Valley Road. This is a major fundraiser for the school. Tickets are on sale for members of the Union Committee at $125, only $125. There's a limited number of tickets, so those of you who want to support that event need to contact us immediately. Primarily Dr. Dublin, Peter Glenn Etienne, or myself in Dominica to get your tickets for that event on Monday, the 13th of October. Then on the Tuesday, we are heading to the northern part of the island on a tour. We are doing some sites and attractions on the northern part, but going through the Carinago territory, Wesley Marigot area, passing around the airport project, seeing what is happening in terms of that development, and then ending up at one of the beaches in Portsmouth, one of the lovely beaches of Portsmouth on the north, and we will stay and enjoy and have some good time. That is Tuesday. Then the Wednesday, there are two activities on the Wednesday. The Wednesday morning, we're having a special assembly at the school to hand over sporting gears and equipment to the football teams on the 15th, on the 17th, and probably the premier team at the school. But we have gifts that we will be bearing for the football teams at the school. Also, some football boots will be presented to the various teams. Both St. Mary's Academy and the SMP, which is the primary school of the St. Mary's Academy. So that is a special assembly on the Wednesday morning. And that assembly is really, again, not just to give out the gifts, but a pep talk with the students over probably an hour or so from 7:45 until 8:30 or thereabout. Then Wednesday night, another major event will be taking place at the University of the West Indies Global Campus, Dominica. That is an education forum that will look at the future of education, the changing realities, local, regional, and global, and our response to it. So it is our way to contribute to the dialogue on education reform and transformation in the country. And that is happening from 6:30 p.m. We have alumni. It's a panel of distinguished SMA alumni and one teacher. And we're hoping that we can really stimulate conversation on the issue of education reform and transformation in Indonesia. We'll be looking at 10 broad or subtopics of this major theme to, in fact, engage presenters and the public. Then on the Thursday, we are encouraging visiting friends and alumni, and of course locals to attend or to participate in the Reggae on the Boardwalk night. It's always on a Thursday night. This year, we are hoping that we can combine not just reggae music, which is a big music in the Caribbean and in Dominica, but reggae our own color calypso and bouillon music on the Thursday night. So the idea is ready to go on a lime at the Paradise Pier in Lale Coco from 9 p.m. For only $20. Again, part of the proceeds will go to the SMA fund. So that is the first day evening. And then the Friday, there are two events on Friday. Friday morning, we meet the press on the Friday morning, where we sort of review what happened, what transpired during the week, highlight some of the major issues that we see that we need to focus attention on. So, for example, we're already thinking of things like a students or an alumni association supporting the ongoing rebuilding efforts at the St. Mary's Academy, and other issues that we think that would be of pertinent to the school's continued success. We'll be also be hosting Ian Jackson, who will be launching a book on the deceased Fitzroy Williams, or the late great Fitzroy Williams, and at that press event as well. So that is Friday morning, and that will be happening hopefully at the Public Service Union building as well. And then Friday evening, we're hoping that we can start probably between 6 and 7. I suspect it will be more like 7. We'll be doing an all boys concert, and you heard in the ad the kind of lineup that we have. People like Dice and Shelley and Mr. Reach and Daddy Chess and Daryl Bob and some exciting performers from Dominica will be performing for free to support the school rebuilding efforts and to raise funds for the SMA. So that's in a nutshell. I don't know if it's a nutshell, but that's on the whole is the program for the week. And for us, it is about making a pledge to our alumni community to come out and support the efforts.
All right, thank you for that. Really, really, well planned out activities for the week, in the sense that it's not too jam packed to have folks running around and really be disoriented, but it's enough to provide that fraternization among the past students. So what time is it? Before we go to the break, we have about 8 minutes to our break. So before we go to the break, Joe, let's talk about Friday night concert. It seems as though it will be a precursor to the World Queer Music Festival.
Sounds like it. It's
Yeah.
like a preview of who's who, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think so. I think we wanted one big signature event, that the public can rally behind, and we could really help us raise funds. And just the thought that what we were talking about earlier on, being to expand the audience beyond the people who can just be at the event, but making it a pay-per-view event where people can see it all over the world. That avenue there is a tremendous opportunity too. So yes, we have a number of events that leads up to this, but I think in terms of the entertainment value this brings, I think this is probably the signature event. But of course, there are other things of tremendous importance, right? The night of reflection, where we're just going to sit around and just reminisce about things that have happened, and reconnect with people, and everything we do is a fundraiser, right? So, and then the brunch, of course, on the Sunday after Mass, going to church, that's something that we did on a regular basis during school time, right? So just reliving that thing. And then the educational forum, which is something that I think is tremendously important, because it's we need to figure out what do we do next. The advent of AI is changing everything. How does that how do we take that into account when we're educating students? And we can't just breeze by it. It's a real thing. And how do we incorporate it into education to make students more dynamic? Now the world is at our feet, right? It's like AI is like having somebody who knows everything right next to you. Having the ability to ask the right questions becomes the skill. Precise questions. And it doesn't make you dumb. It actually makes you more intelligent, because you have to figure out more precisely how to ask questions to get the kind of answers that you want. So there's a lot to learn. In moving forward, I think I really do hope sobers, and that's something I'm going to push for. That how does AI impact? What is the impact of artificial intelligence in future learning?
Mhm.
So
Actually, yes. So we have, as I said, we have 10. So out of the major theme, which is looking at the future of education and our response to it, there are 10 questions that we're asking the panelists to respond to. Yeah. The first question is the issue of foundation and identity. Identity is crucial. So as we become more globalized, how do we fit that in and balance it with our culture and heritage and so on, in the learning process? Relevance, curriculum relevance, given that we are faced with the climate crisis, and how does that impact us going forward in terms of the kind of knowledge and skills that is required in this effort to build resilience in Dominica? And you just spoke about it, digital divide and AI. That is a subject that we're asking the panelists to look at and to give us their own perspective on. So the question about how does technology fit into the whole question of education and equity insofar as technology is concerned, because that is a big issue in terms of the digital divide in this time. And of course, the big question about AI and how we utilize it in the classroom. I just saw in Trinidad, there is a big push towards utilizing AI in the classroom. They have a ministry of technology, of AI, in Trinidad and Tobago, the new government has established. And the minister, it seems as though he's a tech nerd. And so they're pushing that in their school setting. So that's something that we may want to look at in terms as a best practice.
well, that's not a maybe. That's a we
Yes.
do.
As a country, yes.
Yes.
Then the other issue, the fourth issue is teacher transformation. What kind of because we know before it used to be the teacher was in charge fully. Yeah. The question is, what is the new dynamics in terms of teacher versus student, learner versus teacher? Okay. So that is something that we have to look at. Economic alignments. So what kind of education for the future in terms of the economy? Looking at the orange economy, the blue economy, renewable energy, or greening of the economy, and so on and so forth. The issue of mental and emotional resilience. We know that's a big problem, mental health issues and so on, that is facing countries all over the world. Regional collaboration, that we have to look at that more and more, working with CXC, working with UE, and so on, and to look at best practices and share their experiences. Parental and community engagement. How do we engage the community more? How do we engage parents more? How do we engage the business community in the whole development of education and the transformation of education? The issue of assessment. We have had what they call it, the school, the common entrance. Now it's national or grade 6 exams. So that is an issue that we have to look at. What is its relevance in today's world? And then the last thing is a call to action. We're going to ask each panelist to tell us the one thing that they think in terms of policy that we need to look at going forward. So these are the kinds of issues that we're hoping to discuss. I don't know if we can have the time on that day, but we want to start the conversation, and we're putting forward a strong agenda for change and for transformation.
I mean, I really, I listened to the list of topics that you'll be discussing, and every
Mhm.
one that you will discuss, I'm like, yes. I mean, you started off with identity,
Yes,
and it's a question that I always ask.
yes.
Um, what is our identity? Because it seems like right now we have uh, a, a group of young people who seem not to be anchored enough to their identity. So, what does it mean to be a Dominican? When you say you're a Dominican, what makes you a Dominican as opposed to a St. Lucian? Besides the fact that Dominica is on your birth certificate, how do you identify yourself as a Dominican instead of a St. Vincent or St. Lucia or Grenada or a Caribbean person or all the other identities? I think um, that was more deliberately nurtured in us than
Mhm.
it is currently. At least it seems that way.
Our
Uh,
generation, you mean? You mean our generation?
yeah, in us,
Yes.
like I think um, I left high school. Um, I taught after I came from college. I taught at the state college, and you could see the slippage of that. So I think a lot of those topics are just so poignant.
Yes.
Who determines where the economy should go, and
That's right.
therefore tries to align our education to supply the brains and the hands and the heart that would make sure that there is alignment.
Yeah.
Those kind of questions. So I have to discuss it with my production team, but I would really like TDN to be able to carry that. Because I think all of those topics type of, they merge really well with what we are trying to convey as um, a media house, a media at TDN. So we'll see how we can make that happen, because I think so many of those topics are just absolutely essential. Absolutely essential. It's a lament that I have that when CXC took over our curriculum, we did not see the customization that we expected to see. It was making it more relevant to me as a West Indian, me as a Caribbean person. It didn't seem like CXC went in that direction too much. As a matter of fact, I straddled GCE and CXC,
Mm.
and I, so when I started high school, Caribbean history was compulsory subject for all 5 years. When CXC took over like 83, 84, they replaced history with social studies. And so history became one chapter in a social studies class. So as whereas you would think that they would nail down, because we would accuse our colonizers of watering down our education in that regard. CXC seemed to take it all the way and just toss it out. So we did social studies with one chapter in history in social studies as opposed to Caribbean history, and there are several
Yeah.
areas. So I'm hoping that those I know it's just one night, so maybe it will be
Yes.
the start of the conversation, but
Yes.
I'm hoping that we can really face, um, really looking at our education system. In fact, uh, today, as we're doing this program right now, this afternoon, my one of my mentors was laid to rest, um, Dr. Frank Caesar in Grenada, and that was one of his areas that curriculum development and making sure that the Caribbean needed to redo their curriculum to make it more relevant. So just a
Yes.
little nod to my mentor,
Mm.
laid to rest today. But he was very, very passionate about that. So it, it's right at the bottom of the hour. It's a good time to take our break. When we come back, we're going to continue to to talk about the reunion. I'm going to ask both of you gentlemen to relay one of your memories as a SMA student while you was in school at SMA, that anchors that school in your heart for your entire life. So let's take a quick break, folks. When you come back, we'll continue with my guests, Mr. Sobas Esprit and Mr. Joe Gis, and they are giving us some detailed information as to what's in store for you when you go to Dominica for their reunion on October 11th to the 17th. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Presented by. People say I've got a great smile. Well, I have to say, this is all thanks to the professional team at Beacon Dental Group right here in Dorchester, Massachusetts. I've got world-class dental care. Beacon Dental Group has expert and caring staff dedicated to providing the most advanced and satisfactory treatment in all aspects of oral health. Their services are designed to meet your needs and give you a perfect smile, too. General checkups, cosmetic surgery, Gemini laser service, and advanced procedures, all in a state-of-the-art facility. Call or visit Beacon Dental Group today, 1026 Blue Hill Avenue, Dorchester, Massachusetts, or call 617-282-2146 for a smile that lights the world.
Every bestseller, every life-changing story starts the same way, with a single idea. The question is, will yours stay hidden or will it shine for the world to see? At G&D Enterprises, Inc., we don't just make books. We bring dreams to life. From first draft to finished masterpiece, we're your partners in editing, design, publishing, and even audiobook production. Your book's cover is your handshake with the world. It has to captivate. It has to invite. And once readers open it, every page must deliver a polished, professional experience. That's our promise. Great stories deserve great polish. Our editors sharpen your words, enhance your clarity, and protect your unique voice, because your story deserves nothing less than excellence. Stories aren't just read anymore, they're experienced. With professional audiobook production, your words travel beyond the page and straight into the hearts of your listeners. And when you're ready, we'll guide you through publishing and KDP setup so your book doesn't just exist, it thrives in the marketplace. This is more than publishing. This is your legacy. Whether it's your debut novel or your fifth big release, we bring the expertise, creativity, and personal care that turn writers into authors, and authors into legends. The world is waiting for your story. Don't let it stay in the shadows. Partner with G&D Enterprises today, and let's publish the book only you can write. Visit gndenterprisesinc.com/book-design.
Running a radio station shouldn't be chaos. It should be simple, smart, and professional. With Joan Premium, your entire week schedule is beautifully organized and easy to manage. Real-time accuracy keeps your listeners in sync with every show. Your visitors and audience sees the right schedule every time, wherever they are. They can even choose different time zones. From analytics to social media and native app integration, Joan Premium is the professional tool your station deserves. You're never alone. We provide priority support for active license users. We're building a community. Connect with broadcasters worldwide through our Joan Community Hubs. Choose your plan, annual flexibility, or lifetime freedom. Get Joan Premium today. www.gndenterprisesinc.com or call 877-698-9894 for more information.
Looking to promote your business, engage current customers, and reach new people? Well, look no further. From the basic presentation to a fully fledged advertisement, use your video ads to attract customers. At Man's Audiovisual Productions, we do just that. We produce videos for business and event promotions, product demo videos, animated explainer videos, fundraiser ads, and much, much more. Engage your clients and sell online. We customize the video to match your brand design. Guaranteed to play flawless on all devices, including smart TVs. Contact us at telephone number 203-690-4342 or 767-245-6238. Visit our website, mansaudiovisual.com, or email us at derekvideo@gmail.com.
The St. Mary's Academy class of 74-75 Alumni Reunion Committee presents one of the most highly anticipated cultural events of the year, the SMA All Boys Concert, a star-studded night of music, culture, and brotherhood on Friday, October 17th, 6 p.m. at the St. Gerard's Hall. Tansame Simidam, 10-time Kaiso Borak of Dominica King Dice. The the sensational chalet of single band, award-winning Mr. Reach across the bridge, King Daddy Chess, multi-talented King Bob, Guitar Slip So I Could Live for that Crop, Jonah Beatleman Fam, Shadow Flow, Corner Fingers Philip, County of Serenade, The Healer, Alex and Larot, Kelly the Ghost Williams, Peter Leta, Calvin Senator S. Brad Moore. A night of queso, dance so reggae, booyah folk, and world music. Tickets in advance, $50. Special students price, $25 only at SMA. Partners include Navigator, Britain and Company, TBS Radio, Kyrie FM, Q95 FM, Dominica News Online, Push Past 10, the TDN Radio, St. Mary's Academy, UWI Campus Dominica, Dominica Public Service Union, Damian Bellot and other SMA alumni, Milo Services, Deepex, Bullseye, Dominica Lotteries Commission, Central Cooperative Credit Union, and more. This landmark concert celebrates the extraordinary contributions of SMA alumni who have become icons to Dominica's rich cultural heritage and the regional and international stage. Friday, October 17th, 6 p.m. St. German's Hall. St. Mary's Academy past and present students. Support your alma mater.
For us through the break. Tonight we are excitedly bringing you final news of the St. Mary's Academy reunion that's been, organized by the class of 74, 75, but encompasses all of the alumni of St. Mary's Academy. For those of you who are not from Dominica originally, you should know St. Mary's Academy is an all-boys Catholic high school, and it has produced a wide cadre of young men who have gone on to do great things in Dominica, in the region, and internationally. They take a lot of pride in the thousands of folks that they have released from the gates of the academy to go out into the world and to make a positive difference to the advancement of the race. So put it on your calendar, the October 11th to 17th, right, precursor to the World Creole Music Festival. A lot of the activities that they have include activities that are not restricted to just you having been an old boy of the SMA. For example, there's a church service in the morning on Sunday, the 12th, and in the afternoon they have a brunch. On Monday night, there's a cocktail reception at the Public Service Union building. The island tour and a beach day on Tuesday. The special assembly on the Wednesday, where they're going to interact with the current students and they're going to make contributions in terms of gears and so on to the sporting teams and that sort of thing. And in the evening, there's a wonderfully planned education forum from 6:30 p.m. at the UE Center, and they have a list of 10 topics that they hope to be able to discuss. I doubt that they will get through all 10, because I think they would need maybe 3 sessions to go through all, because it's so richly planned. Thursday night, the Broadwalk, reggae on the Broadwalk, and because of the caliber of musicians that has come out of the gates of SMA, definitely they will include musicians that do kadas and bouillon. So it's be reggae, kadas, bouillon. And the Friday night, of course, in the Friday, the press conference to sort of recap and review. In the morning, Ian Jackson also will be launching his book at that press conference, a book that he's written on the great Fitzroy Williams of Exile One fame. And in the evening time, huge concert showing off. SMA is showing off basically that the musicians who have passed through those hallways, hallowed hallways of the St. Mary's Academy, and has gone on to display their craft. When they read the lineup, and you heard it in the ad from Wadix himself being a former student of the SMA, when you hear the lineup, you think, this is definitely part of the World Creole Music Festival, because of the caliber of artists that's going to be there on the 9th of the 17th. So we come back after the break with our guest, Mr. Sobers Esprit, and Joseph Gis Tutti, as he's probably affectionately known by his former teammates. And Sobers sitting there, you can see that Sobers maybe was a little more reserved at school, but you can see on Joe's face that he probably was a little bit of a troublemaker in school. So I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to give each of them a chance to give us a little story, a little short, story that they carry with them from their days in SMA,
Oh
that
my
that, that
God.
they something special, whether it involved them or somebody else, but something that they remember and that impacted them and is still with them. Joe, I'm going to let you go first after I call you troublesome. Unmute.
The tides have turned now because Sobers is the one. I'm the calm one now, and Sobers is the loud one. But I think when I think back of being at SMA, I was very very involved with sports.
Mm,
And I think of going up to the countrysides every Sunday, playing some country team, whether we go to Soufriere or we go to Coliho, and having, the team with all the teachers, and other students on the team, and some really good memories. It's just the whole, SMA was just a great experience for me, and then going to college too. I really enjoyed college life, right? But I think what I didn't realize at the time, because to be honest with you, when I was in high school, my focus was half education, half sports, right? I didn't have this singular focus that I did when I went to college eventually. But even then, it's like the foundation that the school gave me. And I'll keep saying that until, it was just so solid, because I'm comparing, my first year of college with the other students who came in from all over the world. And you could see, there was a gap in maturity to begin with. Well, I was a little older too when I went to college. That most of the kids were, not yet 20. I think I was 24. So I guess that's part of it too. But in terms of my knowledge base, the education and the foundation that I had, I think you could see there was a little difference, with me and the other students. So I attribute all of this, most of it at least, to the education, and then the activities, of course, that I did in my community prior to going up to study. So yeah, just an overall good experience.
Good experience.
There's so many, but sports, I think, would maybe be the thing that would stick with me more from being.
Any particular game that jumps out that you used to play, what, cricket and football, or just
We would play
cricket?
cricket. I remember we would go up to places like Salisbury and play up there. Those wickets there, they're not very good. So balls shooting down on the ground, and you got to just try to stay alive. And then the fields are not being very flat, so you got to be running downhill sometimes and falling over. It was fun. It was. At that time I didn't know better anyway. That's what we had, and I think what all these things have done too is it's created a certain amount of humility in you, right?
Right.
So if now you're playing cricket somewhere here, I still do play cricket actually, with some nice stadiums, and I did too when I was young, youth team and so. But I think with that kind of start, the humility, the humbleness of that start makes you appreciate every other level more. And I think, and that's not only for sports, that's just in life, every level that you change and you move towards, the appreciation is there because you've started from humble beginnings, so.
Right. So, do you know? You
Yeah.
have any particular
But
story
before I come to me,
uh
let me just say, Tutti was a sporting superstar at the Youth Academy. Let's be very blunt about that, right?
Thanks so much.
This man played football for Dominica,
Yep.
youth and national, and one of the best. Cricket, I think he was, well, although he said he didn't come much for Dominica, but because I was a cricketing buff myself growing up. We actually used to play, class cricket. Remember 101, 102 against other teams.
Yeah.
That was fun. Doing that, and The man played for the West Indies youth team.
Yes, I did.
Right.
That was
Yeah,
fun.
wow.
The man played. The man was a wicketkeeper batsman for the West Indies under 19 team. So let us
Oh,
get that.
wow. Good
Very clear
eyes,
on that.
right? And
That was fun.
reflexes. Yeah.
And so I am happy that I was in the same classroom with this man from first form to fifth form.
But you guys were classmates.
Yeah,
Yeah, Alvin Thomas, he and
yeah.
myself, all
Oh,
three of us,
okay.
from first form to fifth
To
form,
fifth form, yeah.
because we end up in the humanities class. Okay, so we did social sciences. Then.
Social, okay.
Okay, so so for me now, but here's the interesting part. So I studied high school SMA. So before I go, I would say that I continue to carry as an alumna and a leader in the country and regionally. I continue to carry with me that sense of, from the SMA, what SMA has instilled in me, the issue of resilience, of excellence, of hard work and dedication. SMA helped to instill that in me. Sometimes I faltered, sometimes I wasn't as focused as I should be. But I think SMA helped to instill those things in me. And I became a national leader and regional leader in some areas because of the foundation that I had at St. Mary's Academy. And so for us, the reunion is not just about celebrating the individual achievements, but it is going to be celebrating the overall, the legacy of the men who helped to shape not just the SMA itself, but Dominica and the region. As you rightly pointed out, many of us, we became leaders in Dominica in various fields, whether it's public service, in trade union movements, in sports, in culture, in enterprise, in agriculture, and so on, in medicine and other fields. We help to shape Dominica, and many of us, not just Dominica, but the region, and in some instances internationally. But we're talking about somebody like Linford John, who was the lead singer for one of the biggest Calypso band of the 1970s, 80s era, and people like George Centillier, who was also in that band, Gyro, Chipam from Gramax. These guys helped to shine a bigger light for Dominica globally. So, and we're talking about classmates, our cohorts, or our cohorts of that period. For me, I always knew I wanted to go to St. Mary's Academy. I didn't. It was not a debate about which school. I was always inspired by St. Mary's Academy, mainly because maybe because I was very Catholic. That's one, and two, I lived with people who went to St. Mary's Academy. A cousin of mine, Breck Joseph, who lives in Boston, by the way. I lived with him as almost like a protege. He went to St. Mary's Academy, and all I heard from him was St. Mary's Academy, the virtues of St. Mary's Academy. So I always wanted to go there. And I started well. I think SMA was great in the beginning. Let me just because we have to make that admission. But somewhere along the line, we had issues. There were challenges at the school. So the 1972 revolution, if you want to call it that way, became a big point in our lives. It impacted us in many ways. It impacted us in a positive way, in that it helped to galvanize ideas. It helped to shape us in ways to better understand the challenges of the times and what was required for building a new Dominica and a better Caribbean identity. But it also affected the quality of education at St. Mary's Academy for a number of years. So about 3-4 years, we were faced with some severe challenges in terms of education instruction, educational learning, because SMA didn't have the resources and was challenged in many ways. It took almost 5 years when the school handed back all the school management to Brother Egbe Jermaine and the Christian Brothers to change the trajectory. But so that impacted us in many ways. So we have to highlight that phase in the development of the school. But notwithstanding, SMA still was a community. It was still an environment that helped to nurture men who wanted to go into the world, whether it's, as I said, sports, in the arts. Because as we talking about over the last several months, some of the top musicians, some of the top artists came from St. Mary's Academy in the 1970s and 1980s. And some of them are international stars, So SMA still provide, in spite of the challenges that the school was facing during that period of 72 until 75, 76, we were still able to utilize and to absorb as much as we can, so that when we left the school, we could in fact improve our livelihoods and lives. For me, I was never a student activist. I wasn't really active in the school movement. I was a community activist. So I went to St. Mary's Academy and went back to Maho and got involved in the community. So I was involved in the youth group, in scouts, in sports club management, in the arts. And that is what helped to propel me into the person that I am. So I became a community activist because of the foundation I had at St. Mary's Academy.
Right. And so I listened to both of you all speak, and I can just imagine the Saturday Night Lime, or even the meet and greet, even the meet and greet on Saturday.
It's gonna be dynamic.
That's
Yeah.
good. Everybody, first of all, happy to see each other. You haven't seen some folks in a while, and catch up. What's going on where you are. What are your children doing? A bunch of you guys, I'm sure, probably have grandchildren, and then you have that Saturday Night Lime. So I can just fully imagine that type of environment, nostalgia, reminiscence and reflection on it, and to really be able to go back and in hindsight understand how profound some experiences were, even if at the time it was happening, you didn't realize that So we're approaching the end of our time. I'm going to give both of you guys to talk. Maybe there's some things that you meant to mention that I haven't asked you. I know in the ad, a lot of your supporters and sponsors and partners are mentioned. I don't know if you want to make special mention of any one of them. If you have any notices that you may want to, public service announcements, whatever. I'm going to give both of you guys a chance to make some closing remarks and go places where we did not go, because we only had an hour, and we're talking about quite a wide body of experiences. Huh? And also just talk about anything in particular regarding the reunion. Who wants to go first?
Well, let me go because Sobers is the closer.
Okay.
So I just want to say two things I want to say just real quick. I know we said that at the educational forum, do we have any governmental representation there? I don't know. I mean, it seems
we are inviting officials from the Ministry of Education in particular, and the secondary schools around Roseau.
That's important, because I think
invitations are going to be extended to the minister, the permanent secretary, chief officer, and people around education.
I'm hoping out what comes out of it is some kind of structural framework that we can use and find some group that can move that thought process forward. I wouldn't want it to just be a night of just so much good information comes out and it just becomes diffused out. And then the next thing is one element that I think I will bring up probably at the thing is the intersection between the local institutions, schools, of course, and the diaspora. I think that maybe would be a good addition to it. So anyway, in closing, I would just like to encourage everyone to participate in the reunion. I know the class of 74, 75, we're the ones who put it together. It's a lot of work getting it together, but it's really all alumni, and no more broadly, all of the Dominican community and people in the diaspora are encouraged to participate. Now, even if you cannot attend it, please go in and register to be part of it. We have a roll call that we're gonna generate after this and recognize everyone who's registered and participated in it. I think this is a historic event. I mean, 50-year anniversary, is, and anything you do when you have a 50-year anniversary is a special event. So I think this is is extremely special. And we're excited about it. And we have a lot of people, especially with me, I've been working mainly with the media houses. And TDN has been a rock solid sponsor, a supporter of us. We really appreciate it. Every time we've called, you guys have been there for us. We really appreciate it. So has Kyrie FM, Q95, Push 10. Also, DBS has been helping us out too. I mean, we've had the support of the community, and we really, really, really appreciate it. So DNO, I know, have been very helpful too. So it right now is the last push towards the end of to get everything started. We asked, if you guys, I know we're gonna, any opportunity that you guys have that to just share that information at TDN, I'll keep sending you stuff, and if it's stuff that you can post to your social media platforms or everywhere just to get the word out. We're really excited about this, and we invite all Dominicans, whether it be home or in the diaspora, to be part of this.
Great.
Yeah. Okay, well, just to add to that for us, this is a labor of love. We've been doing for the last year, at least 12 months of planning, of organizing, and bonding too, because it helped to get us closer together. So I know much more about Tutti now than the last 5 years or so. Because we've had some spirited conversations over this period.
Some as you know, my patois, my Creole
Yes.
is extremely good now too. You know that,
That's
right?
right. Some serious Creole, we hash it on Creole. But this is an SMA experiment. This is the first time that this has been done. First time in 90-something years since the school started, and we're hoping that this could be used as a template for future reunions by the school, by different cohorts of the school, to celebrate the school's achievement, to celebrate as I said, the legacy of the men who helped to shape Dominica from the St. Mary's Academy. We just want to highlight again the Old Boys concert on the Friday. It's going to be an amazing opportunity to hear boys who came from the St. Mary's Academy, humble beginnings, and today they're superstars. It is also important for us to make a special plea to the folks to attend and to support the Night of Reflection and the cocktail reception, which is going to be a major fundraiser for the school rebuilding efforts. The Night of Reflection is going to also feature 6 alumni. So from that cohort of 74-75, we'll be featuring 6 of the guys. So hopefully you will hear some more on Drago, some of the things that you were asking for. They will get into some more detail because they'll be questioned on that night about some of those issues. 6 of us. And we'll hear a feature addressed by somebody that we all love, Mr. Ray Harris, an attorney at law. And he taught for only 1 year, but he had a major impact on us all. I think anybody who Ray taught can tell you he was indeed a great man. But of course, we had other great teachers over the years, and we also want to highlight their contribution and the impact they had on our lives. So that night, the Monday night, is an important night. As I said earlier, tickets are on sale, but only for members of the region committee. So if you are interested in supporting us at only $125, call us to purchase your ticket or to secure your tickets, and so you can be part of that Night of Reflection. The tickets for the Old Boys concert, they are now available at Deepex Scholar Lab in Roseau and the Bullseye Pharmacy up in Goodwill. So you can get the tickets. They are on sale now for $50 in advance, and we'll be selling the tickets at $60 on the night. There's a special student price of $25, but those tickets are only on sale at St. Mary's Academy. Folks, we only have a couple of weeks. Come out and support us. It is our plea, and we're asking people to come out and really give us support. A lot of work has gone into that. We want to single out, in particular, the support of the St. Mary's Academy, in particular the principal and staff of St. Mary's Academy, for working for us, for supporting our ideas, or some of them crazy ideas, and really giving us all the support. There are a number of Dominican firms that have come forward. There are several of them now. I don't have the full list, but I just want to say we want to be forever grateful to you for your support. I want to highlight the Damien Bellot, my graphic artist, who has done a lot of the work for me in terms of the flyers and the ticket design and so on. I know Tuti, you working with some designers, but so we have people like that have come forward and say, hey, we give you all the support. Wadix have done the art for us for free of charge, and the media houses, yeah, we can't forget Kyrie, DBS, Q95, and as I say, several companies that have come forward. Tuti, we probably need to say some of them, you know. So, but there's quite a list so far, and we just want to extend our gratitude to you for your support.
Your support.
Where do people get more information? You have a Facebook page.
Yeah, we do have a Facebook page. It's SMA St. Mary's Academy alumni 7475 alumni. Yeah, you could just go on there and it's St. Mary's Academy class of 7475 alumni. All the information is there. The registration page is there. All the list of the events that are taking place are there. I mean, everything is there. That's our collection point for everything, including a little message from our boy Linford too.
Okay. All right, great.
So folks, also say
check them out.
For the concerts. The orchestra, the band that's going to be backing up the artist, going to be led by Colonel Fingers Philip and Wackers. Linford John, who is also part of the organizing team, is the coordinator for that. I am giving him support, but Colonel and Wackers are the principal people behind the supporting cast and the production for the Old Boys concert. Good.
Great. So, gentlemen, I think we've managed to give the information that you came to give, very detailed information as to what you can expect between October 11th to the 17th. And, you know, if you are within reach, go check them out. There are a number of events. Go check out on the Monday night, there's a cocktail reception. On the Friday night, there's a huge concert. On the Wednesday night, there's the education forum. You don't want on Thursday there's a lime on the Broadwalk. So it's packed with entertainment, but also seriousness, and very, very importantly, a lot of the proceeds, the gate proceeds, are going to go towards projects at the SMA. Particularly, we know that they're doing a lot of physical improvement to the physical building, and so on. So support them. Go participate. You'll have a good time, and make some more memories. You know, 50 years ago, these guys were in school as young boys, making memories that they can now come and reminisce and on. Go make some new memories. And you know, the next couple of years we'll be talking about what happened during the great St. Mary's Academy class of 74, 75 reunion. So, gentlemen, wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Have a good time, you know, safety.
Anthony, if you can make it, come.
Yes.
We'll see.
And stay for the World Creole Music Festival as well.
Yeah.
And stay for the World Creole Music Festival. We'll try our best.
Sam, thank you, brother. Thank you so much,
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Really appreciate you guys coming. All the best, as I said, and of course, special greetings to my brother Alvin Thomas.
No, we leave him out tonight.
Don't
bring him out tonight. We leave him out tonight.
But he's there in spirit.
We just can't get rid of him. We leave him out and still on. All right. Thank you.
All right, gentlemen. So let me say a very good night to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, bye.
Well, so folks, there you have it. The St. Mary's Academy class of 74, 75 reunion that's taking place October 11th to 17th. So, you know, 2 weeks away, a week and a half away. It's going to be a good time. The reunion activities provide such a unique space where you can reflect, you can reminisce, you can reground and reconnect to your roots and to your formative years, and probably bring back memories of events that you've probably forgotten. You're like, oh my God, yeah, I remember that. You know, when this and so happened. So I'm wishing all of you guys a wonderful time. I didn't go to the St. Mary's Academy. I went to the grammar school, but the fact is that the St. Mary's Academy has produced so many well-formed men, statesmen who have gone on to make a difference in Dominica and in the Caribbean and the wider world, and so they can take up a very well-deserved bow, and we look forward to continued achievement. So support them, support them. All right. So this has been This Week in Interview for today. We'll see you again next Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of the week, and until that time, stay safe. Good night.